Are you ready?
My name is Vanda.
Took me a moment to realize this one as we all go through our lives justifying what we can and what we can't do. So today in our conversation with My Name is Vanda, which is all about you and raising the conversation and your inner conversation to serve your higher good, we're going to point the arrows and just look at the word self-sabotage. Where would that word come from? And why would it even pertain to a purpose, right? So when we think about sabotaging, it means that you're directed in one direction and you get either interrupted or you get redirected, okay? But now it's no longer to serve your higher good. Now it's derailing you, it's confusing you, it's taking you off your mission, it's taking you off purpose, and it's redirecting that whole energy. So, I've been asked a couple of questions, but mostly I have been raising people's awareness to the inner ability to self-sabotage without being totally conscious aware of it and totally present to what you're saying, what you're doing. Why? Because the saboteurs are more habits than what you would like to recognize it as it is. So in saying that, I want to go in and look at you and go, all right, are you self-sabotaging yourself? Okay? And are you, if you are, then it's no use looking at it, what am I sabotaging? So it's like sidestepping, all right, I'm now going to look at myself in the way that I'm thinking. So looking at your thought process, okay, brings you the opportunity, are these thoughts supporting me? Because what happens is lots of the thoughts, many of the thoughts, so many of the thought processes that are flowing, okay, could be habitual patterning that's creating a chemical reaction, okay, to a need, okay, to be satisfied. And I spoke about a little bit about this in one of my episodes with regards to addictions. It's like you need to go and get that taste for spite or revenge or to get back to somebody. Why? Because you feel hurt, or you are in fear, or mostly you are ashamed, or you've been shamed, or you feel invalidated. You haven't been validated by being seen who you are for your worth. So all these emotional offsets are setting off these triggers in the way you're thinking, by the way you feel. Now, I've said a lot there, okay? And I really just want you to be clear that everyone thinks differently, even though we are all thinkers, right? And everyone is not feeling the same thing in the same environment. Why? Because we have our own libraries, we have our own sensitivities, we have our own capabilities, we have our own bandwidth, we have our own justifications to a point. And that's what I'm trying to bring into your awareness. Have you ever caught yourself justifying yourself to the negatives in your life so that you could feel justified for the wrongs you are doing to make them right? We'll do that because that creates experience, right? Have you ever caught yourself justifying why you can't? Have you ever caught yourself justifying why you shouldn't? Have you ever caught yourself and justifying yourself to limit yourself? So it's more of like a limiting belief, right? So in the word self-sabotage, okay, I want you to focus on self. I want you to completely ignore the word sabotage, because the word sabotage, okay, can mean more for you that somebody else has the power to sabotage you versus you sabotaging yourself, right? And so what I'm raising your awareness to today is no one can sabotage you if you're not doing it yourself first. There's the key, right? The word self. So how can I enhance your ability, okay, to recognize that you are limiting or you are justifying your actions by doing something? So what is that something? You're probably being stubborn about something, or you're probably being, limited in your process. You're wanting to target your anger, or you're wanting to target your poison arrows, okay, to hurt out of spite or out of humiliation, probably is the word, right? But there's so many degrees, so many words, so many emotions that can bring you into a swirling feeling of revenge. And in that space, you feel unworthy or undervalued or not appreciated, but mostly hurt and then disappointed, right? And you look at, well, it's just not my time. Well, I can't really do that. I don't really feel good about it. That's not for me. Or today's not a good day. You can do it in so many ways, because these self-saboteurs are more like limiting beliefs of emotional pockets of hurt that you are harboring. Now think a little bit about that. What am I saying? And how am I saying it, right? So look at the space that, what is what armor do you have wrapped around you? Okay? Is it serving you? Right? Like today I have a scarf around me, right? But I have a scarf around me because of not because it's cold, because I can withstand the cold, but there's a piercing chill, okay, that will take me out of focus and I will react to being like stiff, yeah, versus me thinking what I absolutely want to be talking to you about. So it's about a flow. So often we're limiting ourselves from just being able to reset ourselves and go, okay, I've got a different footing now. Sometimes by giving yourself a different armor means you've got to adjust, okay? And sometimes it's not left or right. Sometimes you have to step back, right? You have to just come in and step back just a little bit. And you find, you know what? I'm going to come back in a little bit more. So what are you doing? You are withdrawing your justifications, okay? How do I think about that? All right? And if the thought is like, well, that's kind of limiting me, well, then bring it in. Why? Because what you are sharing with yourself, okay? And I call sharing a ray of light. It's how you share is mostly how you create in your life, okay? So how you share this justification, okay, from your thoughts, okay, and you voice them, you're justifying your limitations. And that is sabotaging, okay, your heart pulse, your knowing, the one that will go for it, the one that is fearless, the one that knows and is benevolent and loves and appreciates and values and has all your divine worth. That warrior in you that is, that has solace. Solace means that it has a calm about it. It knows you, okay? It has this peace about you. When you are limited by what you can't do, you have to be triggered by something that is needing to be interrupted. And that interruption can only and mostly come from you, okay? Now, those interruptions most often come from those that you love, like a mother or a father or a a sibling or a very, very, very close intuitive friend, okay, that has the best of your intentions. But if you don't hold the best of your intentions for yourself, it is far and few between for you to vibrationally come into a place and meet that. And I'm going to tell you why. Sabotaging, okay, is a momentous energy because of law of attraction. Now, in today's age and nowadays, law of attraction is like the highest commodity and the biggest words you can hear everywhere. Everyone's talking about law of attraction. We are law of attraction in action. What you're attracting, okay, is very much the vibration of what is going on, what you're sharing internally, okay, with you, okay? Now, you have to understand that there are pockets and reservoirs, okay, of energy that have a ripple effect. And some of them might be shorter or longer. Some of them might have that. But you need to know where you have been depositing, okay, your beliefs, your actions, your responses, your reactions, all of those things. What does your bank look like? Have you been depositing in the things that can sabotage you, okay, or the things that can bring you goodwill? But what about those little things in between those gray areas, okay, that are self-sabotaging by unconscious awareness of repetitive habits, okay, where you're just consumed by hatred or anger or revenge or spitefulness, or you're so hurt that you get so blinded and you're just like, I'm gonna do this, and this today, and I'm gonna hurt and I'm gonna take away what you feel they've taken away from you. You need to learn to drop that, because all that is doing is amplifying your bank, okay, with a reserve of that energy that continues to limit you in the ability to rise above that chaos or that emotional distortion that just creates poison in your life. Self-sabotaging is and continues to be the way you know you. If you continuously look at yourself as a limiting, justifying, okay, person that is dependent by your unkind actions, and that's where your goodwill comes from, well, that is very ignorant of you. That means that you are ignoring the laws of correspondence, which is cause and effect, and the law of without me saying the law of attraction, okay, I would go into the law of manifestation, right? Because now you're starting to bring into being something that you're manifesting. So until that thought, okay, is just a thought, and that until that thought it comes into being, into an action, and that thought is just a thought, you have all the power to re-choose that thought. But the minute that that thought becomes an action, well, then there's a reaction and a cause-effect ripple to that. How quick are we to get angry at somebody? Okay? Have you ever heard of somebody, their whole lives get redirected because they weren't able to control themselves from a smack that they gave to somebody, or they punched somebody, or they hit somebody in the car, or they threw something to them, right? You can never take that action back. Okay? That's a self-saboteur. Somehow, that thought got through your processing, through the way you think, through the way you feel, and it got a window to become an action to hurt somebody. Think about that. So that vault got open. That window was open. That passage door was open. That window was open. However, that window got open. If it opens once, it will open up again, because once it goes once, then it can go twice and 3 times and 4 times and 5 times and then it becomes a process of being. We see this all over our history. Okay, people being uncontrolled in traffic. It's called traffic rage. Okay, women being abused. Okay, why are they being abused? Because either they can't control what they're saying, or they are being abused by somebody that can't control their actions, and vice versa, right? Or how about with animals, right? Have you ever seen? These are actions that come through that. And once those doorways are open, okay, there's a responsibility for that. So now, let's go look at the self. Why was the self sabotaging itself? And where did it come from? It's irrelevant. Look at the self, okay? You have that choice, okay, to uncover those energies, okay, that you're able to reconnect yourself, okay, to a place that you're able to control the way you feel. Because you cannot control the thought, but you can control the way you feel. They go, right, Vanda, you go control yourself in a state of panic, okay? And you can't control yourself. Have you ever seen those people, sometimes they panic or they're full of anxiety, they go, and you have to scream at them, or you have to like kind of snap out of it, get out of it, or do whatever. You have to be strong enough to interrupt. And I'm going to tell you something. If you get so good at going into deep, 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 deep breaths, one that is able to connect with himself or herself in a deep-seated connected breath is able to interrupt that thought that triggers that impulsive action. Because that justification, that responsive reaction is not worth your gold. Because you're the one that's going to regret it, you're the one that's going to be taken down the wrong path, and you're the one that's going to live with it. No matter what it is, saying an ugly word to somebody else, reacting to this, it's not worth it. It takes you off your path. It's redirecting your path into these side alleys. One side alley will take you into another side alley, and then they'll take you another side alley, and then sooner or later, there you are in the maze. Okay, now how do I get back to my core where I am peaceful? It takes a lot of work for you to do that. So I've spoken about this, and I'm going to introduce you to understanding law of attraction. What you're thinking is one thing. What you're feeling is another thing. But what you are doing is everything. Learn to breathe into yourself as you learn to recognize how you speak to yourself could be self-sabotaging. Listen. Bring comfort. Wrap yourself around your vibrational armor that brings you peace, so that what you are hearing is serving you. Because if what you're hearing is to destruct, destroy, ruin, then that is a self-saboteur that you are serving and feeding yourself. So with that, bring yourself in. Step into your unlimited self and know that yourself, who you are, once you've experienced a self-sabotaging thought, you are on the money. Your path has been widened for that opportunity for you to take that breath, interrupt yourself, and be that unlimited, incredible, divine light that you are. Okay?
Vanda.